creating turnovers. We knew they're precision offensive team that if you give them clean looks, they could really hurt you from three. And then the kid Mogbo was very good inside player. He had a great game overall for him, but just liked our approach to defense. The quality of how we played offense. Some of it was again generated by our defense and getting into the open court and making good plays. But just good overall performance. Happy.
This game really felt like a dogfight, even though you led from tip-off to final buzzer.
Yeah, I mean they're a good team. The film says it. I kind of saw a lot of BYU and watching them just with inside, and then a lot of guys that could shoot. I think some of our success with guarding the three-point line was our closeouts. Like an example of that would be Frankie Collins closing out late in the game to Williams. Like he had to probably put extra arc on the ball because of how high Frankie contested that shot. So we really, I thought, did a good job of trying to speed them up. Maybe it felt like there were 6 guys out there at times because we're really moving well and rotating and pressuring them.
A little unusual that you had all your 5-year starters in double figures and no bench points. What did you make of that?
It's a matter of time for Kamari Lands, and just like the new world we're in, there's an adjustment and a new environment, and he had some really good games in games that have not counted on our record already. So I've seen him do it. I think he'll be a guy that right now off the bench will make it happen for us in that regard. But I thought Braylon Graham and Akil, still their minutes were fine, and I didn't really have any problem. We don't really look to those guys to score, and then I think we'll get healthy hopefully and get hopefully favorable news for other things. So and that will add to our depth and I think our ability to generate more points coming off the bench.
It's a positive also that you're getting carried by your best players when you need to be.
Yeah, I mean, Frankie was great. I mean, the thing I liked about Frankie and Jemiah, I think they had 18 defensive rebounds between the two of them. So when your front court is going through an injury crisis, which we are, and it was very difficult, again, because we have key players out, and those guys did a good job of just getting in there and getting those rebounds. Big for us. It was tough though when you have Bryant with 2 and Gaffney with 2 in the first half, and you have those type of injury issues. It's not easy to navigate that half, but we were able to get through it.
Was this game kind of scary because it was a team that beat you pretty good last year? And did you let your guys remind them of that, or if Frankie didn't remind them of that?
I didn't talk much about it at all, just trying to keep it in the present. And again, we have 10 new players that didn't go through that. So it was just me, a few of the coaches, and Jemiah, Frankie, and Zoe. So I thanked them after. I thanked the new players for helping us, get a great win today with the real understanding of what we all had to go through last year in that game. Yeah.
Does the emphasis on the guards crashing defensive classes, I almost have to just remain a thing even as the front court gets healthier?
Yeah, I think when I went to Vegas for media day, I talked about those two maybe being defensively and rebounding, great defense and rebounding guards, that Frankie and Jemiah. So, I mean, it was good to see them showing that, and we obviously do need that. And it was talked about because this team is going to shoot a lot of threes. So when you shoot a lot of threes, you're going to allow long rebounds. So you got to make sure your guards are committed, invested in trying to rebound the ball. And I tried to put a little carrot in front of them. Hey, if you get a long rebound, you're closer to getting to the offensive end with the ball. And they all want to do that. So, maybe that worked too. Who knows?
Coach, you've hit on wanting to stop them from taking threes, but coming in tonight, they had a really efficient 2-point scoring game as well. They got some clean looks here and there, but how did you manage to hold them down in that narrative?
Well, I mean, if you take Mogbo out of the equation, I thought we did a nice job in all phases, really guarding the line, guarding the 2-point field. He's a handful. He doesn't take a shot that he can't make. It was he was very impressive, and he was really impressive on film in the games that I watched. So he was a tough guard for us. But outside of that, I thought across the board we were really solid.
You made a focused effort on informing the guys to try to not settle for shots because you played really well offensively for the last 2 games without making a lot of threes.
Yeah. I just think we have different dimensions to our offense, and we need to just have the buy-in. I think we're doing that. We're not fighting each other as much. Outside of just how we finished with the end of game, just taking care of the ball, and you know, we were sharing it well. We were making the extra pass for the most part, making the right play. And you know, we have different ways we could attack with Jemiah. You know, Frankie getting to the basket. You know, Jose is a different type of player, man. It's just he's so he could manufacture baskets, and he was doing it against their center. Like he's still, you know, working him in the post. So it's exciting to see that may not even be just a mismatch situation when you have a smaller guard on him.
Frankie was super assertive at times in isolation, you know, and able to kind of get to a shot, get to the rim. Is that something that you've been kind of encouraging him to do more of?
I mean, Frankie is not. He doesn't hang his hat on making shots, making, you know, threes. His perimeter shot was very good today. He made, like you said, he made it from distance. He hit a one inside the arc. He made his free throws, which was fantastic. He was 4 for 5 from the line. So happy to see them. Hopefully that'll get more confidence. But I mean, he's a guy that checks most of the boxes when he goes out there, just across the board, just what he brings to the table.
And otherwise, solid offensive performance. The team still shot around 13 of 21, low 60s. Where do you feel like the team needs to be in that department to succeed down the road?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, Bryant hit his first two, which was a nice sight to see there in the second half. He wasn't able to connect on the other two. You know, I thought Zoe quick shot his 2 free throws. He's got the long release, and so he's got to extend a little more. So these are things that we'll just try and mention to the guys, and hopefully, you know, with each game it gets a little better.
How would you assess the way Ryan played while navigating that foul trouble and still had a pretty efficient night?
Yeah, Bryant is, you know, he's got a good motor. He just understands who he is. He's low maintenance. You know, he doesn't like, hey, Hurley, you know, I need to play. You know, get me the ball. You know, it's, you know, he kind of does a good job of playing off other guys, and just he's a hard-working type of guy. So a very, very relatable guy. I think a guy that our guys really like to play with. I mean, he had an illegal screen in the first half, but like he sets good screens, so he does all the little things that the coaches appreciate.